Running a hobby YouTube channel about a hobby, whilst also maintaining a full-time job, being the director of toddler entertainment at home, and also throwing a new baby into the household mix, means that time not only evaporates, it simply ceases to exist for the most part. But it does have its perks, like when friendly manufacturers slide into your DMs wanting to send you products to check out, and that's what this video is about. It's going to be a quick review of this beefy AMS Lite Enclosure from Howarx. But when you have no time, quick things are never quick, and in just a few moments you'll see me rewinding one of those spools of PLA by hand because it decided to leave the chat prematurely. A couple of notes. They sent this to me free of charge, they asked me to test it out, and if I wanted to make a video on it, I could, but I was under no obligation to do so. I'm also under no obligation to say anything specific about the product, nor am I under any obligation to say nice things about the product. They haven't paid me for anything, they just sent me the product for review, but an honest review I shall give. Now, unboxing and assembly was pretty straightforward. Some assembly required, but we're also a group of tinkerers, so there'll be no issues here. The instructions are simultaneously detailed and vague, but it all goes together pretty easily. It does mean that I need to remove the AMS Lite from the top mount that I had on in the enclosure, which I didn't really want to do because I quite like that footprint in terms of having the printer and the AMS Lite all in one enclosure. Who knows, I might go back to that in the future. Oh, and remember when I said quick things are never quick when you have no time? Well, yeah, my camera shut off while I was recording this clip, and so I ended up with a corrupted file. Now, this is not the first time I've had to deal with corrupted files and recovery, but generally I can just charge that back to the project, and file recovery is very expensive, and as this is a hobby YouTube channel, aforementioned, I didn't want to charge it back. So I found this open source project to do file recovery. I ran it through Cursor because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to code. I managed to get a viewable file, but it kind of looked like this. Come on now, Cursor, you can do better. I believe in you. An hour or so later, Bob's your uncle, Cursor's your aunt, and we have the file back. Let's move forward, onward. So what is this product and who is it for? Well, it's an AMS Lite enclosure that doubles as a sealed filament storage system and what they claim to be a drying box. Note that it is not heated nor powered, so make of that what you will. However, it does have sections for desiccant pouches within the enclosure, and they send you a stack of extras as well so you can swap them out. So the idea is that your AMS Lite becomes both sealed storage and also retains its functionality. Now, before we continue, I am not the perfect target demographic for this product. If you watched my earlier video about filament dryers, then you'll know two things. One, I do almost anti-scientific testing, and two, I don't have issues with humidity at all. So I can't tell you how this thing works as a dry box, which means I'm reviewing a product that makes my AMS Lite bulkier, harder to access, and now has a larger footprint than my previous configuration. But as this all goes together and I get it situated in place, I'll give you my top level pros and cons. Pro, once it all goes together, it's solid. It feels nice and sturdy and stable. Con, swapping the filament is a pain in the ass. Kind of, mostly, it's not too bad, it's all right, but you kind of just can't get your fingers behind it. So you can only kind of pop the spool off with one finger on one side. So it's just a bit finicky. Pro, it looks pretty good. I like the white and orange, slight points off for not making it the same kind of subtle gray color as the AMS Lite, but that's a minor gripe. Con, the way you have to load in the filament is also finicky. You have to take the spool off the holder, unwrap it a little bit, push the filament up through the hole, and then the AMS kind of grabs it and the feeder feeds it through the system, but then you kind of have to panic rush to get the spool back on the holder while the AMS Lite is dragging it, and it feels a little bit panicky. Anyway, let's get back to the product review in a minute, because it was at this point that I thought, okay, I'll print a couple of things to test it out, see what swapping filament spools feels like, put it through some real world paces. And then one of my spools failed, a brand new, barely used 1 kg of filament, ready to explode all over the place. Now, I'm not going to blame this squarely on the enclosure, let's be clear, this was a bamboo spool that popped open. However, it was as I was trying to get it out of the enclosure and see my aforementioned note about the lack of finger room on both sides, means you can't push them out uniformly. You have to put pressure on one side, and now it's left the chat, and I'm left holding like 300 meters of filament that is threatening to entangle me. Pivot. Make a world, spool winder, okay, good. This one looks relatively straightforward and I can chuck my drill on it. Won't take too long to print, send it to the printer, ludicrous mode on, go. Perfect, let's get that bad boy out and get this thing rewinded. I had the thought to put the old exploded spool gingerly on my rollers of my filament dryer, hold it all together internally with a bit of tape and hope that it will be enough to keep it steady and have it feed onto this new roll. I also had the foresight to swap over the NFC tags as well, so hopefully the AMS Lite will still recognize this orange filament when we're back in business. And you can see, it's roughly around this point that I realized that there must have been 2 plates to this print, as there is nothing to hold the spool on the winder, so back to make a world we go. Send to the printer, go, let's do it again. And back to the winding setup, and because I'm impatient and because we've established in this video that when you have little time, annoying little time sucks always come up, well, I broke it, hastily trying to put it together. So some gaffer tape and some manual winding and some added time and a cameo by this baby who says men can't multitask, and much more winding and winding and winding and winding and winding, and well, eventually I got it finished. But as I was winding this, I was thinking to myself, I really got off track on this video. Okay, back to the AMS Lite Enclosure that I'm supposed to be reviewing. Do I like it? Yes. Would I recommend it? Well, if you need to store your filament in a sealed environment with some desiccant and you want to keep the spools on the AMS Lite, then it's a no-brainer. If you live in the tropics, lots of humidity around, pick this up. If you have big meaty fingers, then you're going to struggle with the spools. I've got these dainty little spindlies and we saw what happened for me. If you're hard up for space and already have the AMS Lite top mounted within an enclosure and that's working well for you, then maybe this isn't the product for you. But build quality is good, the setup is pretty easy, it all fits together perfectly with the AMS Lite, it does exactly what it says on the tin, so I can't fault it there. And you know what? It's pretty affordable. If you are interested in checking it out, there is a link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, but because of the aforementioned lack of time, I'm not even signed up to be an Amazon affiliate. So I'm not getting any kickback, but I think you will get a discount if you use the code BILT1, that's BILLTO, not 01. Thanks for stepping inside my tired mind. See you on the next one. I need an actual 3D printing project, so hit me up in the comments with ideas. Much love.